Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
And now, Reality Rings with Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
It is Mixed Martial Mindset. I am with John Fitch. Fitch,
What's happening?
we were talking a little bit right before about the fights that did happen because there weren't many. No UFC, no Bellator. But I watched the BKFC, and they were actually smart enough to put on a free card.
Yeah, it was a nice little surprise.
Look, here's the deal. They are consistently doing the work, putting on exciting fights, and the co-main event is probably the most memorable fight, even though I've seen some memorable fights in the last month. The co-main, Scoggins versus, man, who did Scoggins fight? Was a brawl.
Robinson,
Could have been.
or Richardson,
Maybe Richardson.
one of those two.
Yeah. Pretty fun fights all throughout. You know, they're putting on a good promotion. And speaking of good promotions, you know, I talked about it today on my broadcast earlier, and I got a kick out of it. And, you know, at the Lunar Festival, have you seen the video yet, John?
I have not seen Lunar Festival.
Well,
but
let
yeah,
me-
it was Richardson. It was Richardson.
It was Richardson.
Bruno Mars looks terrible. He's let himself go.
I mean, when I watch this, man, talk about tone deaf. Like, what are we doing? This is the world we live in. Lori Lightfoot in charge of a crime-ridden city in the middle of winter, totally protected by all sorts of security that are completely heavily armed. I promise you that.
Gotham, man. It's Gotham.
It really feels like real world. Look at her. I mean, just look at this. I mean, that's the person they said we're gonna put in charge. Show it. Yeah, there we go, Lori. That girl.
How many people have died under her watch? How many people murdered?
Well, first of all,
illegal guns.
take a look around. You know, for the mayor of Chicago to be there at the Lunar Festival, pretty smart.
You see how they're shooting it? They're like, you can tell there's nobody there.
That's what I'm saying.
There's nobody there. Like they're not turning around behind them. Like it's only that one contingent of people right behind there. It's like maybe 50 people there altogether.
I mean, I'll give her 100. Even if you got 150 at this festival in the middle of winter, the absurdity of everything of this photo op and how they put it out there, it shows you how much disdain, in my opinion, John, they have for the public at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of disdain. They really don't respect us. They're letting you know it's cartoon villain time. Buckle up, whether you like it or not. You're going to take it. And you know, I had to lead the show with it because I haven't gotten over it since this morning. I get up early now. I didn't have a lot of sleep. I was talking about the other story about the Shazam actor. Are you aware of this story?
Oh no, I'm not. I have not heard. Me and the boys have watched Shazam, and it was a good movie. Which one? The older actor or the younger guy?
When I'm talking about Shazam, I'm talking about not Black Adam that just came out, but I like both of it, the kid and the actor that we're talking about, the older guy in the story.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was talking about it. It was probably, as far as not Batman, my favorite DC superhero movie that they put out because it was fun. It was still directed at kids, but at the same time, adults could like it. There was like really no hidden messages in it other than...
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a little bit of, equity going on in the movie, but whatever.
I mean...
It wasn't enough to ruin it.
Compared to other things, it wasn't even close. Okay? It wasn't even ballpark. So a sequel to that's coming out. I'm hoping they don't ruin it, but, they might. I just watched the trailer for the first time today after my show because I was interested. And basically, let's be careful, John. We're on YouTube. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, you know the deal. And he retweeted this, and it says, "Do you agree or not that Pfizer is a real danger to the world?" And Zachary Levi, Shazam, said hardcore agree and put a not so smiley face emoji in there. Okay? And the controversy is, while the sequel's about to come out, and he dares say that about a large pharmaceutical company worth billions of dollars that's lost in court to the tune of $10+ billion in lawsuits.
Whatever could he gain? Whatever could he gain from a spicy tweet?
It's just we're in the upside down where that guy's our age, all right? He's 42 years old. He's saying a common sense thing that a large pharmaceutical company working with governments that work with big tech that want ultimately a biomedical tyranny and fascism instituted globally could be a real danger to the world.
Yep, I could see it. I could see there be a problem. I mean, we've never really fully addressed the opiate epidemic. We've never really settled anything with that. We just kind of got pushed ahead and, oh yeah, that was terrible. Let's talk about something else. Let's go somewhere else. So these people have not been doing good for other people for a long time, and they haven't been held accountable in any way.
No, and instead you have get outside of Pfizer for a second. You have like Bayer, for instance, and we've talked about Bayer and HIV. I know it's hard to believe, guys. It's tough to believe that Bayer, way back in the day, injected people with live HIV virus, but they did, and they paid out, and as far as I know, no one went to prison. Knowingly sold HIV infected. I love how that's the headline. Like if we were in any, again, this shows you, this is almost a 20-year-old article, and even then, you have this lighthearted spin by the mainstream media. No. But what it should say is, Bayer knowingly injected HIV into children on a biannual basis with factor VIII, a blood clotting agent for hemophiliacs. Okay? I mean, it tells you right here, on poor countries for nearly a year after introducing a safer alternative, the one without the HIV in it. And the real question is, now that you think about all these things, they're basically injecting them what is supposedly a retrovirus, but maybe it was created in a lab too. I don't know if we can say that on YouTube, that maybe HIV was created in a lab. But what's it do? It degrades your immune system eventually, right? And we're seeing all this immunosuppressant stuff. So what's Bayer get to do? They get to partner with Monsanto at a time where Monsanto is paying out billions of dollars in all these lawsuits with Roundup, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and other cancers, and no one's going to jail. That's the actual world we live in, John.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It's wild. Wow, it's very wild.
And so, one of the other things I wanted to show today, I was on kind of a Darpa kick before this. I couldn't
What about
help.
dogs? Hey,
Oh, this is going to fit right in, my friend. There it is
what about
right
dog
there.
shirts? There
Obey
you
the
go.
dogs.
I watched. I tell you about Metalhead. Did I tell you about Metalhead?
Tell us about
Black
Metalhead.
Mirror. There's an episode of Black Mirror called Metalhead.
Oh, I know Metalhead. Tell the audience, though. For those
Oh, it's terrifying. It's just terrifying. It's got Robot Dog in it, and some people trigger it, and it hunts them down, and it is terrifying because there's nothing about that thing that couldn't actually happen right now.
Like, as we speak, right?
Yeah, right as we speak right now. I think, I don't think the robot dogs are as capable as they were in that movie or that 41-minute horror show, but you could still have like 25 of them all doing the same job, and that's where it really gets scary.
And the other thing is, think about it this way. I know which one you're referring to, but instead of something that's quadruped and on the ground, and instead of just one of them, like you just said, 25, 50, or 100, you have fist-sized swarm drones, like out of Phantasm. Like, that changes the game right there. Because I don't want to, spoiler alert, there's some scenes where, like, the robot dog infiltrates, like, a car while it's moving and then, does its thing. But if you have swarm drones...
Car, yeah, it takes over the electric car. Like, that's another level I didn't even think about. Oh, yeah, the robot dog can actually jump into a vehicle and take over it and drive it. Yeah, great. Things of nightmares, man.
So think about that. But at the same time, if you needed to, you have these swarm drones that are airborne, that if they want to stop the vehicle, a couple of them could attack the tires. A couple could just obscure
They ain't
vision.
gonna attack the car anymore. The car shuts down.
Yeah.
Shuts down automatically. Oh, you have whatever. We identified your face as being wanted.
Well, let's just say,
Your
for the
social
sake of
credit score
it,
is too low to drive today.
they have an old school Jeep Wrangler, like in the back, that they have the contraband, John. And they're in the Wrangler, and it's a hard top, John. I mean, this is a decent one. This is like a Jimmy wagon here. You got a decent one going. All of a sudden, this swarm drone comes out of nowhere. They don't even necessarily have to attack the tires. All of a sudden, they just spray the windshield with some kind of black, goopy liquid, and you're blind. That's a start, right? You're blind. You stick your head out. That's it. Boop-a-da-boop. Bob-a-da-boop. Or they're just a Sidewinder drone. They calculate how many of them it's going to take to lock onto the vehicle and explode, detonate, and then the rest just kind of fly off and find another target and regroup. It's like we lost number 4, 17, 12, and 9 today. We'll just go back more. Or they don't even think that. You know why, John? Because they're fucking robots. And they don't think.
They don't think. They don't feel.
No. And
They
speaking
just follow orders.
of not thinking and not feeling, John, we got this lovely little Darpa video here. I want to lower the music because I don't want a copyright strike. And again, this is today. He's setting up a little parkour here for himself, picking up what I would assume is a pretty heavy bag right there, and then walking across that thing. Up, little jump ski, no big deal. Let's toss that up. Hey, take that, Chief. And then we have the parkour jump coming up. Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, they couldn't hook a fully automatic
Everything?
long gun anywhere. No way.
A fully automatic everything everywhere on that thing. Like literally, like every point and joint.
Show me your papers.
Oh boy. So you know, in light of the DARPA show, I want to show what Regina Dugan, the former head of DARPA, had to say. Okay? And by the way, I think that especially when we get down to the last little clip I want to play, we're just going to leave YouTube. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry. Someone's asking me, what's up with a black eye? I don't have a black eye. That's just how dark everything is, guys. Look, here, let's do that. Let's do that. How's that look? Does that look better? I still have the dark under eyes because I fucking get up at 5 in the morning every day, whether I want to or not, and whether I sleep. You know why? Because it's a job, guys. You do your damn job.
What it takes. It's what it takes.
That's right. It's what it takes. And I'm old. 3 goddamn years old. Anyway, so here is Regina Dugan, the ex-head of DARPA, talking some Internet of Bodies. We've played clips like this one before, John. We have yet to play this one right here.
I could take vitamin authentication.
What?
Vitamin authentication.
Yeah,
Here, I'll let you hold it. Would you like to hold it?
I'll hold it.
Okay.
You guys see it?
This pill has a small chip switch. It also has what amounts to an battery. When you swallow it, the acids in your stomach and they power it up, and the switch goes on and off. 18-bit ECG-like signal in your body, and essentially your authentication token. Yes, this is true.
And I don't know what's going on with the audio here. Horrible rip. But this person's telling you that they already have the pill that's activated by your stomach acids that lets them know whether you were in compliance and you took this thing. And it also basically can read certain levels and send those back to your doctor as well. It's lovely stuff, John. It's where we want to be. Okay?
Awesome. State-sponsored medicine. Yay.
Yay, indeed. Yay, indeed. Got another one here. We're kind of on the edge on this one. I kind of have to play it because I want to play it. And the reason I want to play it is to show you basically at the highest levels of like a Pfizer, right? Like a lot of people are coming down on this Borla guy. Like he's the nefarious one that made all the decisions and plan. He's a front man. He just says yes. He doesn't know what's going on at all. Like he didn't. You know, he's not in the lab. He does what he's told. Literally does what he's told. So here's a clip of him actually talking about what he wrote in his book, that he did what he was told. That he didn't think that they would use mRNA technology throughout this whole thing. Why? Because they'd never put out a successful mRNA product ever. Remember, this is their only product still. We've played those clips. You know, after the fact, he's got to kind of be hip to what's going on, especially with everything out there, how he's being confronted. You can't be totally oblivious. It's like Bill Gates can't escape being called out about Epstein. He got called out again. Did you see that clip?
Oh, I've not heard anything new about that.
Just got called out this week again. But here he is. Here's Borla.
Good.
This is how it works.
How do they not keep asking? Just keep asking. Keep asking.
You should see how annoyed he looks in this one. We might have to bring that one up next, because I don't think I played that on air today either. We certainly didn't play this clip. So, again, this is actually how it works. This guy's just a dupe. He does what he's told. And when we play you the other clip that I can't play here off of YouTube, it'll explain to you why he's told this, okay? And why they suppressed other things. But again, we're on YouTube, so I got to be ultra careful. So here we go. And this is your authoritative source. I believe this is the Washington Post, John. Very astute.
I want to get a little into the weeds here and the mRNA technology. When you and your colleagues were trying to decide which route to go down, the traditional vaccine route or the mRNA route, you write that it was, quote, most counterintuitive to go the mRNA route, and yet you went that route. Explain why.
It was counterintuitive because Pfizer was mastering, or let's say we had very good experience and expertise with multiple technologies that could give a vaccine. Adenoviruses, that some of the other vaccines are. We were very good in doing that. Protein vaccines, we were very good in doing that, and plus many other technologies. mRNA was the technology that we had less experience, only 2 years working on this. And actually, mRNA was a technology that never delivered a single product until that day.
So again, he's admitting here they've never delivered any products on it. He's lying when he's saying there was a 2-year stint, maybe in that particular realm. But we've already shown you the partnership publicly started in 2013 with Moderna. Perhaps that partnership didn't extend to Pfizer. But remember, Pfizer's using the technology that the Defense Department is pushing. All right, so let's continue here.
Not vaccine, not any other medicine. So it was very counterintuitive, and I was surprised when they suggested to me that this is the way to go. And I questioned it, and I asked them to justify, how can you say something like that? But they came and they were very, very convinced that this is the right way to go.
They came and they were very, very... So he gets told what we're doing, all right? And this is the stuff, as you're going to find out when we flip over, that, was being worked on Defense Department style for a very long time. And check this out. He'll even admit they were trying to create something for the flu and had failed just 2 years prior, again and again and again.
They failed at the 2 years of work on mRNA since 2018, together with BioNTech, to develop a flu vaccine, made them believe that the technology is mature and we are at the cusp of delivering a product. So they convinced me. I follow my instinct that they know what they are saying. They're very good. And we made this very difficult decision at that time.
It's a very difficult decision that I'm going to pawn off on the puppet masters that said, look, your bank account is going to look very nice after you say a yes. And I said a yes. And I said a yes. That's actually, and that's the thing, guys. That's actually how it works. So this guy has built-in plausible deniability on top of built-in liability protection from the Emergency Use Authorization Act. And the people that brought it in are the Defense Department people. Now, it's pretty early on the YouTube end, but I want to play this clip because DARPA. I'm going to show people, I guess, this before we go over because I think that this is extremely important. And, once again, really got to acknowledge. Let's see, is that all the way over there? Please tell me. Oh, by the way, we got to do the McGregor news.
Yep.
Yeah, that way we'll do that. We'll take a break from this in a second.
Just following the boss's lead.
So again, when I say
smack.
Well, I don't think it goes well beyond that. DARPA awards Moderna Therapeutics a grant for up to $25 million. This is when you see it all the way back in 2012, 2013. Remember, Moderna and Pfizer use similar technologies. We're going to bring this in. And this is the strategic collaborators. So AstraZeneca, Merck, Vertex, BARDA, which is like the medical DARPA, Bill and Melinda Gates, Karolinska Institute Pasteur. They're already on board well before this. All right. And right here, like I said, they've been using, this is part of the ADEPT program. Where is it? Yes. ADEPT and PROTECT. Autonomous diagnostics to enable prevention and therapeutics, prophylactic options to environmental and contagious threats. Dun, dun, dun. So before we go over and tell you what else DARPA knew about this and what got suppressed, let's talk a little McGregor here. Okay? Mm-hmm. I have been saying this. I'm going to continue. Smacked her. No, John. John.
McBeater.
Apparently, and again, this is all alleged. Now, I've warned people. If McGregor was not arrested and charged with what seems to be a multitude of allegations and crimes that have been reported to on an extent that I would consider him, if I were a betting man, allegedly, Conor McGregor is a violent serial rapist. If anything I've covered in the last now 4 years is correct. Throwing that out there. Violent serial rapist. And this woman, John, after having her wrist broken by McGregor and kicked allegedly by McGregor, jumped off a boat in Ibiza, okay, and had to be rescued, I believe, by a Red Cross boat offshore. Now, this is not the incident in which he allegedly cornered a woman in a bathroom hallway, a married woman, with his security surrounding him and whipped his dinky out. This is not the alleged incident where he drug another woman into a car and forced her to perform oral sex. This is not the incident from Dublin, allegedly, that I covered at length, where allegedly, it's not alleged. Okay, so Conor McGregor claims to have had consensual sex with a woman who was hospitalized and beaten for days, spending time in a hospital in bits, in a Dublin incident. She contends it wasn't consensual. I mean, I can allegedly.
Yep.
And John, I know you've been around. I've been around. You know, we've done some wacky things in our days, sowing the oats. Yep. Never come close to putting a woman in a hospital in a consensual situation. Just don't know anybody. Have you know anybody?
No surgical removals of tampons ever.
Ever.
That's something that happened.
Let me just read a quote here. I mean, this should say it all. Like, and it's like, how many are we going to wait for him to actually achieve his goal, or has he achieved his goal, and have they covered it up? That's a really good question. Okay, so let me just read this quote right here. It was as if he was possessed, she claimed in her statement. I knew I had to leave the boat because I thought he was going to kill me. We have common friends, and I have met him on a number of occasions. I can't believe what he did to me. I think he would have killed me if I didn't leave the yacht. So, yeah, left her stranded after leaving the yacht and had to be rescued by a rescue boat, and apparently had a broken hand.
So she got a broken wrist, got thrown off the boat. So she's like swimming around in the water and shit. Did he not get arrested at all?
Apparently, there was a police investigation in the beginning. Yeah, there was a police investigation in the beginning, and now they're reopening it. It's a lot like the other case. Just magically, all these things, there's a
it disappears.
It just. I mean, this is a guy who hasn't won a fight in the UFC for 3 years. That they're just hoping they can make another, $100 million+ pay-per-view on, and they hoping they can, run his name and market him for another, $1 billion. That's it. That's all this is. It's disgusting. And again, it shows you how everything works. And again, these are the ones they put out in the press. Oh, I'm with me sweet D and me family. It's always a picture of him and his family. I mean, I'm done. You see that he also got hit by a car, apparently, and flipped over it? Like, 2 days after that story, there's a video of him, and I'm not even sure it's not staged. Here, call me a conspiracy theorist, guys. But allegedly, this guy head-on hit McGregor on his bike, and he flipped over the guy's thing and survived and was fine. And then I can't even make it up, Fitch. And then McGregor whips out his phone, and the guy keeps coming over and is like, "Are you sure you're okay, mate?" And McGregor's calm. Now, maybe this is because he's not currently on crack cocaine and whiskey and on a boat.
He just didn't want to, I don't know. He felt embarrassed or something.
I don't know, man. It's the weirdest video.
I didn't see that. I did see some shenanigans with Jake Paul and Dana.
Jake Paul showed up at that boxing match this weekend to
Well,
face
they've
off
got
against
some
Tommy
kind of
Fury.
announcement they're supposed to be making. There's pictures of him and Dana talking about an
That's
announcement.
Logan. That's his older brother. And Logan just got off of.
No, I still think they're all in more cahoots together than they are working against each other, so to speak.
Did you see Logan Paul at the Royal Rumble? I believe it was.
No.
Over the weekend. Listen, man.
I'm not a Royal Rumbler.
Me neither am I. And I didn't watch it, but I knew that he was on there again, and I'd seen some of his stuff. And look, it's a powerhouse in entertainment, right? So when I saw this again, it is. It's a powerhouse in culture, pro wrestling, and it's a good way to when people finally grow up to kind of explain how reality is, how everything is pro wrestling to an extent, especially politics and behind the scenes, whatever.
Get over.
Bro, this is pretty epic. You know, it does for a kid that's like a YouTube guy doing this.
I don't know, but I guarantee it's highlight worthy. Oh my goodness, what a
Let's bring it back one more time. Let's not get it. I think that for any wrestling fan, anybody doing that, that kid's got talent.
Super chest bump.
Dude, I mean, both just to time that and to jump halfway across the ring from the top rope all in one motion and just ram into another probably 200+ pound muscle guy. That's not.
I don't know, but I guarantee it's highlight worthy. Oh my goodness, what a
I mean, hats off to you, sir. Hats off to you and your craft. You will go the extra mile. Like, you know what I mean? He deserves his spot in pop culture. I know that he's got the podcast and all these other things. I don't watch any of that shit, but when I see something like that, it's like, hey man, I watched wrestling since I was a kid, and my buddy, a really good friend of mine, he loves it to death, and he actually was a referee in some of the smaller organizations, right? So every once in a while, he'll send me like a small clip of something like that or something so stupid that you can't help it, right? That's impressive. That's all I'm saying, Fitch. That's all I'm saying. See, we have fun here, guys. We have fun. And by the way, I saw an awesome story that I didn't cover, and I hate covering just total negative bullshit all the time. Did you see what MrBeast recently did?
I have not. I'm aware of MrBeast because the kids, that's one of their favorite YouTubers, I guess. They talk about MrBeast a lot. They were bothering me for a long time to order MrBeast burger. I guess he's got a chain of his own burgers.
I'm
whatever.
curious. I'm curious about the burgers.
I think it's delivery only. It's not bad. I had some. They're
you
pretty
did it.
good. I got this. They had a spicy chicken sandwich. I got that. It was pretty good. I can't complain. But all fast food now, like you order, food for a family of 4, and it's like you just went out and had a fancy dinner.
$60 to $100, easy. 60 to $100.
You're pushing $100, $120 easy.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. So I wasn't really aware of the guy until, my friends are pretty big YouTubers. They got a couple million.
He's like the first guy who became a billionaire from social media stuff, I guess.
Smart younger dude, very entrepreneurial. And look, this is the kind of
you can get his skin in Fortnite. You can play as him in Fortnite.
Yeah, no, and obviously he's entered the pop culture arena. When I think of somebody that's actually helping people, okay? Didn't set up some bullshit foundation, isn't trying to tell you what the fuck to do at Davos, none of that. When I think of somebody that's actually doing stuff to help people, this is the type of stuff I think of, okay? He's a 24-year-old kid, and he just paid for 1,000 people, okay, to get their sight through surgery, to remove their cataracts, and then giving them a car, a Tesla, all right, and a $50,000 college tuition scholarship on top of it. So this guy is literally taking somebody who has all sorts of limitations to their life. All right, starting with blindness. So you're blind, you can't really drive a car. Going to be a lot harder for you to get an education, especially in today's day and age. Like, not how many people are rocking Braille. You know what I'm saying? We've kind of left a lot of those people behind with disability and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. Curing their sight, giving them an automobile to move, and then saying, hey, pick what you want to learn and pay for that too.
Not bad, not bad.
On an individual, he's not giving the money to Haiti. He's not giving the money to the Ukraine. He's not giving the money, to what he's giving the money to individual people that need it. I'm sure it's across a wide spectrum. I'm sure there's no diversity involved. He's not saying there's a certain group that's getting it. You know how you get it? You have cataracts and are blind. That's your diverse group of people. So, it's stuff like that, man, that really makes, again, we try to report on good things here too. So with that being said, YouTube, we are over at Rumble right now. And by the way, can we get some subscriptions over at Rumble? I don't get people over to Rumble enough. I am live again at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow morning. We do it Monday through Thursday live. We bring the thunder. I got a great guest. I got the gentleman who's recently been debanked because of his work with the truckers over in Canada. They just closed his bank account.
It's wild, man.
He was in court today. We're going to get an update on his whole situation. But that's where we're moving towards. We're covering really important stuff. By the way, if you are a premium member, there's the round table with myself, Ray, Alicia, Drew, and another gentleman. Great stuff over there. And I don't really have to worry about what I'm saying over there either. I do want to thank everybody that's also a subscriber on Rockfin. The other links are down below. Fitch, tell people about your website before we flip over to Rockfin, Rumble, and Twitter only.
Yeah, go to johnfish.net. I've got all the links to all my stuff up there. I'm currently working on my practical self-defense course. I have an intro to practical self-defense course that's free. You can download that off of Gumroad. But yeah, right now I got the robot dog shirts. Right? You got to go to my spread shop, follow the links, and get yourself some robot dog merch.
And we're going straight Darpa as soon as we flip over, guys. That's where I'm telling you, straight Darpa. I would encourage everybody that is new to the Bermas Brigade, reality rants, mixed martial mindset, the whole thing. I'm a documentary filmmaker. My films stand up. They are free. They're in playlists throughout all the platforms. So if you go to Rumble right now, you can find them. If you go over to Rockfin right now, you can find them. And they're free everywhere. So it is Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and, of course, Shade the Motion Picture.